I've got my coffee here today. I've got my microphone because it is about to be a hectic video. So grab a snack, grab an why was I going to say iPod? I don't understand. Grab a coffee, grab a drink, get so comfy because I am about to drop all the hot tips and tricks on how to actually get out of a slump, get out of a funk, get out of a depressive episode, because I have been dealing with it lately and everything just feels so mundane. Life is stressful and overwhelming. I'm just feeling a bit low, and maybe you are too since you clicked on this video. And bestie, I'm so sorry you're going through this, but you're in luck. I am about to share with you all the tips that actually get me out of my slump and get me back to the life that I want to live, the girl I want to be, my best self. She's happy, she's thriving. I also have a full playlist of videos where I help you become your best self. I also do random hauls and bits and bobs, vlogs, things, everything. I do a lot of stuff on this channel. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the playlist card up here, wherever it is. The first step that you want to do is give yourself space to acknowledge your feelings and recognize why you're in a slump. Now, you've got to get really real and raw with yourself here, really get into the depths of your heart right now and your mind and all of the organs. No, don't do that. But the first step to getting out of a slump is recognizing that you're in one. You're already taking a massive step by clicking on this video, so you're doing good. It's important to remember, first of all, that slumps are completely normal. Everybody goes through them. You're not alone with these feelings, these emotions, this overwhelming dread above your head. You can't have your good days without your bad days, unfortunately. I wish it was easy as just having good days all the time, but if we had good days all the time, then we wouldn't be able to appreciate that they're good days. Slumps can happen for a variety of reasons, and it can be burnout, financial stress, routine fatigue. That's a big one. Physical or mental exhaustion, they're probably the most common ones, as well as burnout. Or maybe there's health issues you're going through, maybe there's tension in your relationships, maybe work is stressful. It could even be as simple as the weather being absolutely shocking. That is me. Once I know why I'm in a slump, I have more of a push to help myself get out of this slump. I know which habits to focus on that are going to help me in the long run. So for example, if you are physically exhausted, you are not going to walk 10,000 steps. That's not what you're going to do. No. You're going to nap, you're going to rest, you're going to lay down, watch a movie. If you're mentally exhausted, then you will do a lot of nurturing for yourself. You'll do your skincare, you will put effort into your appearance, into your body through nutritious food. You'll have an everything shower. You'll just take it really slow and be really gentle with yourself. And then if you've got burnout, then you want to have absolutely zero time with a screen. Go outside, touch some grass, get some sunshine on your skin. There's a lot of different ways to get out of slumps, but the first and foremost is to recognize why you're in a slump so that you can do the right habits to get out of that slump. You know what I'm saying? The second thing that I do to get out of my slumps is a dopamine menu. Now, some of you have probably heard this term on TikTok just floating around. Why is everyone talking about this? What's going on? A dopamine menu is a bunch of activities or things that you love doing and that will feel good for you. And also, if you don't know, dopamine is the feel-good chemical that is released in your brain. So we want to try and encourage that as much as possible. We want that dopamine. We want that dopamine is also linked to motivation, which is what we want. So having a list full of things that you're going to feel good about and with doing. What am I saying? Oh my God. Having a dopamine menu is very important for your slump days is what I'm trying to say. For example, my dopamine menu is stretching, very good for the body, gets the blood pumping. Taking a walk in nature, a motivational podcast, maybe while I'm doing something, it's so good. Headphones with upbeat music, that is a must. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. 10 out of 10. Baking, watercoloring, gardening, yapping with a friend. Chef's kiss, that's so good. Making Pinterest boards, hanging out with my birds, hanging out with my partner. There's a lot of things there that make me feel really good and release the dopamine inside my brain. So having a menu in a physical form that you can see is going to be the best. I'm going to sneeze. So you want to be able to see your dopamine menu every single day, or at least be easy accessible for the days where you are feeling low. So for example, I just have mine in my notes app. So simple, so easy, but I know that I can just whip out my notes app on my slump days and be like, okay, this is what I can do to feel good. Be sure to also choose activities that are based on your mood. So for example, once again, if you are exhausted, you're not going to go for a walk, okay? You're going to watch a movie, maybe do some watercoloring. If you're feeling burnt out, maybe you could do some baking. That's fun, that's exciting. You could do some stretches, put on an upbeat playlist. So obviously cater to your mood, but do your dopamine menu when you're feeling low. The next thing that I do when I'm in a slump is to get off my phone and go and touch some grass. Now I get it. I've fallen victim to doom scrolling a little too many times. Just like Pitbull, he's
Been there, done that.
we've all been there where we're endlessly scrolling on a rotation of apps trying to find that hit of dopamine, that hit of serotonin that makes us feel good for like 2.1 seconds. Let's be totally real with ourselves. Doom scrolling does nothing for us. It makes us feel worse. So for the sake of your mental well-being, get off your phone. For the sake of you, for the future you, get off your phone. Put it on Do Not Disturb and don't check any social media. Don't check your emails. Don't go on any streaming services aside from Spotify. That's fine. You're allowed to listen to music. Like if you want to take a cute picture, that's fine. If you got to use your bank card on your phone, that's fine. But don't use social media. Get off it. Get away. Like let's be real with ourselves here for a second. There are so many better and cooler things that you can do instead of doom scrolling. Like you can yap with a friend. You could go window shopping. You can paint. You can touch some grass. Go into nature. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. Go to the beach. If you have a beach nearby, I'm very jealous of you. You could go to the park and read a book. You could do something in your backyard like have a picnic, do some garden work, sunbathe, suntan, whatever, but make sure you use a sunscreen. Don't forget that. I think we underestimate the power of nature. Like she is incredibly powerful, so rejuvenating, so healing. When we're in a slump, the fresh air, the sunshine, the breeze feels amazing. It feels good. So go outside and touch some grass. Another thing I like to do is to change up my environment. You know when it's like 3 a.m. in the morning and you decide, hey, what would it look like if my desk was over there? And then you move your desk and suddenly you feel amazing. Everything feels fresh. You feel motivated. You feel good and clean in a new space. You're like, that is the feeling we're chasing right now. Like our brains are low-key onto something. Sometimes all you need to get out of a slump or to help push you out of a slump is a fresh perspective, a fresh space, a fresh environment. You can't focus on becoming your best self when you're surrounded by mess and clutter and the clothes from last week and there's dirty clothes on the floor and there's a sock over there. Like you cannot focus on becoming your best self when you are surrounded by so many distractions. So put on your headphones, put on a playlist and tackle one thing at a time. What is that saying? Don't focus on the whole staircase, focus on the step in front of you. Organizing and cleaning and doing all this is going to give you a sense of purpose, a sense of achievement as well, because you're doing these things and you want to keep doing them because it feels amazing. Moving to a new space can help reset your mind and you'll feel a little bit more motivated, a little bit more fresher. Sometimes I'm in my bedroom and I feel so overwhelmed. I'm just like, I can't think properly, like what is going on? But I go and sit in my car and for some reason in this new space, I feel motivated. I'm like, oh, suddenly I've got ideas. What do you mean? Just go and sit in a new area. You will feel amazing. You'll feel good. Now, this tip is a very super simple tip, very cutesy, but it is to put on a cute fit and get out of your pajamas. That sounds very rich coming from me because I'm literally in my pajamas still. If I'm slumping around in baggy clothes, maybe there's a food stain here and there, I feel gross. I feel disgusting. Or if I'm slumping around in my pajamas, then, or my dressing gown, for that matter, it's always my dressing gown, it instantly encourages a sleepy, tired, lazy me. Like, I don't want to do anything. So one way to get out of a slump is to actually get out of those comfy, cozy clothes that you're in. Get into an outfit where you feel cute. You know, put on an outfit that you know you feel nice in. My go-to is always activewear because it kind of hits two birds with one stone. Like, I look cute, I can also leave the house in it. And it might even encourage you to work out. You know, you're in your activewear, why not go for a walk? Why not do some stretches? Why not lift a weight or two? Another tip that I like to keep in mind is that 30% is way better than 0%. I don't know who said that quote, I don't know where it came from, but I have been living by it for the longest time now, and it has honestly helped me so much during my slumpy days. A 30% effort is always going to be better than doing absolutely nothing. It gives you a sense of accomplishment and purpose, which fuels you further to wanting to be motivated to do stuff. Whereas if you did nothing and continued to let the slump consume you, then that is guaranteed no improvement. That is guaranteed that you're going to do nothing. Guaranteed no movement, no anything, not feeling better. You get where I'm coming from here. That mindset shift helps me so much on my slumpy days. So hopefully that helps you as well. My next tip is to focus on the basic 3 things, and that is food, water, and exercise in order to feel good. Like those are the 3 main things that are guaranteed to make you feel good. When we are mid-slump, we are not focused on eating our best or really doing anything that is good for us, which is very counterintuitive because in eating nutritious meals and hydrating your body and moving your body are, dare I say it, the key to actually bettering yourself. Like those are the keys. That is the key. And when you're focusing on those 3 things, you will feel significantly better. Significantly better than you were before. Oh my gosh. Listen to music while you're doing literally anything. I do not understand what kind of magic is in music, but it helps me out of my slumps. Suddenly you are filled with momentum and motivation and you actually want to do stuff. That's so strange. What do you mean? Like the other day I was feeling so slumpy. I didn't want to do anything, but I knew that I wanted to organize this cupboard in our living room because it was just an absolute mess. It was disgusting. I put on my headphones. I put on a playlist from when I was like 14, really going through it, Tumblr phase, and I cleaned the whole cupboard. And then I cleaned a whole other cupboard that I didn't even think needed cleaning, but it did. And then I decluttered the fridge, decluttered the pantry. And then suddenly I was washing the dishes. I was cleaning the floor. I was wiping the surfaces. Oh, what do you mean? I just cleaned out the garage. And by the end of the day, the whole house was clean. It was like a full spring clean I just did. And I was just like, what? I did not plan to do that. Music does wonders. Don't underestimate the power of music. Leave the house. That's the tip. If I'm at home and I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling mundane, I'm feeling low, I know the best thing that I can do is to leave the house. Get out of the house, get out, go somewhere. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy or extravagant. Absolutely not. It can be as simple as putting on some music or an empowering podcast and walking around your neighborhood or playing the color game. I've only recently found this out, and basically what you do is you pick a color before your walk and make sure it's a color that is not in nature very often. So for example, pink. And you walk around and you take a photo. Well, I mean, you don't have to take a photo, but take a photo of everything that you find that is pink. It could be a flower, a car, a sign, a bucket. Like, I don't know what you're going to see on your walk. And turning it into a game can be that mindset shift that you needed potentially. Or if you're feeling overwhelmed, drive to a park and read a book or just take in the scenery, watch the birds, watch the sky. You could even journal in your car. Like, why not? Take a cute photo. You can do anything just as long as you're out of the house, away from your comfort zone. Bonus points if you drive to a park or a lake or any nature thing that's a good distance away, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you can play either a podcast or music on the way there. Like, that helps me a lot. I love doing that. And if you don't have a car, don't let that be an excuse. Like, you can catch public transport, you can ask a family member or a friend to drive you. One thing I like to think about is you cannot grow in your comfort zone. So try and get out of it as much as you can, because that's going to help you. Try something new or rediscover a hobby. In one of my recent vlogs, I actually tried a bunch of new hobbies that I've never done before. And I also rediscovered some hobbies that I absolutely loved doing in high school, but I haven't done since high school. And mind you, that was 8 years ago. You can also watch the vlog up there as well if you want to check it out, which I totally think you should. I'd really appreciate the support. Love you. I'm trying to do a heart. Trying new things, hobbies especially, releases that nice little chemical that we spoke about before, good old dopamine. And you don't have to be good at anything. Nobody is good at the start. So don't let that stop you from trying new things. Get out there and try something you've always wanted to try. Get out there and start painting. Do some watercoloring. Start baking. I love baking. It's so cool. You get a sweet treat afterwards. Stunning. You can try crocheting, a sport that you've always wanted to do. Learn a musical instrument. Have you ever wanted to learn the trombone? Go and learn the trombone. Pilates, photography? Whoa. Photography, pottery, dancing, gardening, volunteering. Oh my God, the list is endless. Whatever you've always wanted to do, go and do it. Go and do it. I'm not stopping you. Who is stopping you? You are the only one that's stopping you. I'm not just saying that for the sake of this video. You will genuinely feel so good. Genuinely, that's what I meant to say. My coffee's cold now. Yuck. One thing I like to do when I'm in a slump is to create a vision board. Now, I know we spoke about not spending any time on social media, but I can excuse Pinterest because I feel like Pinterest is not even social media. It is, but it's so peaceful. I love creating new boards and making a whole vision for myself. It could be my future home. It could be my future kitchen, my future activities that I like to do. I literally have a whole board on my Pinterest that is just dedicated to picnics. But the most fun I have is creating a future vision board. You have your vision in front of you. It's right there. And it helps remind you what you're chasing, what you're after. To come out of a slump, I think it's important to know that with all of these things that we've just spoken about, it is also very, very, very important to have a dedicated day or two where you rot, you rest, you do nothing, and you do not feel guilty about it, because you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to have bad days, and you are totally valid for how you're feeling right now. Go and rest. Go and have a nap. Have a comfort food or 2 or 3. It's fine. Watch your favorite show. Do whatever you need to do to rest. And then once you've had your dedicated rest days, It's time to grab life by the balls again and take control. Let me know down below in the comments, what is your favorite tip for when you are going through a slump? What is the one thing that helps you get out of a slump? We can just have like a full forum of comments of helpful tips. You know, I don't want to see any firsts and seconds. That's not helpful. But just comment some helpful tips for not only me, but for anyone else that's going through a slump that might look at the comments and maybe your tip is the one thing that they needed. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below and press that bell notification so you don't miss out on me every Sunday night at 6:30. Don't miss it. I want to see you there. Okay, bye.